What's up, guys? Super excited to come on today and chat about all of the things that are happening right now in the market, where it's going, where it's headed. We're about to go crazy on listings. So if you're not prepared for it, there's a huge shortage, and you're going to need to prep over these next couple months to be prepared for the massive listing frenzy that is going to happen March, April, May. We know those are the biggest listing months of the year. So today we're going to dive into listing presentations, how to get them, what to do when you get them, and how to make sure you're capitalizing on the peak moments in the real estate market. Because in reality, we know if you dominate the listings, you can dominate your life because you control inventory, you control every part about the real estate business. You have all the power as a listing agent. So you want to rack up as many listings as you possibly can find. And while we're waiting for Jeremy to jump on here, I want to go over a few announcements. We have events this week, and Jeremy just got here. So I'll pull him into the studio. Welcome, Jeremy Davis.
Morning.
Hey, I was just going over events. We've got 2 events this week. We're going to be in San Jose starting on the 20th. And so be prepared if you're in the San Francisco Valley. If you're in the Bay Area, come to that event. It's free. It's 4 hours. And we are going to have a massive time training. And so we'd love to see you guys there. And if you're not going to be able to make it to the Bay, if you're in California and you still want to see us live in person, do training with us, role play live with us, get to LA. Rancho Cucamonga is where we're going to be down in the LA area. And that one is on the 21st. So if you want to get an Eventbrite link, remember this is 100% free. Make sure you send us a text. I'm going to put my number in the comments, 801-243-4544. But we're excited to see you guys. Jeremy, I talked about listings and how to dominate the listing side. What is your 5 takeaways of why March, April, May are the biggest listing months of the year? How do people prepare? I said, and I believe this 100%, this year is going to be a massive listing year as the market comes around. And so people have to be prepared for it. Jeremy, give us 5 takeaways.
Yeah, I would say it's really hard because those that are going to crush it have already prepared. And if you haven't prepared, that's okay. Prepare now. And what that means is like start prospecting, get the rust off, go 4 or 5 hours a day, start studying the market, know your data, go through your morning routine, night routine, get structure back, start role playing twice a day, start role playing the listing presentation, like get that momentum. Because if you guys haven't done real estate for a long time, this is going to be an explosive next couple months, especially with Trump in office. Everybody's so excited. I was talking to a title company this morning and they were saying, we are getting so many inquiries. And another lender, we're getting so many inquiries. People are starting to come back out. They're starting to realize that the rates are the rates, but there's so many good deals to be had right now. And so my biggest takeaway is if you don't have that momentum in your business, fix it. Get right back in it. Start building it up now, because the perfect time to prepare was yesterday. So if all of a sudden your market gets really hot and you're behind the 8 ball, then there's other realtors that are going to smoke you just simply because you don't have the systems in place. So get a transaction coordinator, have them ready. You prospect, you like always operate as if you have 5 to 10 listings or 5 to 10 deals you're putting under contract. If what you're doing right now can't hold that, then you need to fix it immediately. And that's why in our role play group, a lot of people that are watching this are in the role play group. That's why recently we switched to the afternoon role plays are all listing presentation oriented. So it's $200 a month. It's 40 minutes every afternoon of realtors all over Canada and the US that are role playing their listing presentation, because this is a skill-based industry. If you don't have the skills, there are so many other realtors in your market that do, and they'll wipe the floor with you.
Oh, that's so freaking cheap too, to think you're spending $200 a month. That's $2,400 a year. What does one listing bring you?
Someone
better be way
Someone
more
the other day was like, dude, you guys could charge $1,000 and I would pay that all day long, just because there's so much value in there.
Yeah, no, it's money, you guys. But the biggest thing is Listings are not hard, you guys. It's not hard to be able to take a listing. And number two, it's super easy to maintain a listing. So guys, get out there and get them. You should be able to hold 30 to 40 listings at one time. And as long as you put the right systems in place with transaction coordinating, with people running your signs, with TCs putting up your paperwork. So if you're not currently in that mindset where I'm going to go take 10 listings in March alone and 20 in April, you've got to shift gears. You've got to start thinking way bigger, and then you've got to get the training to do so. Think about what that would do to your business. Remember, 74% of real estate agents didn't sell a house last year. So if you can take 10 listings in March and 20 in April, you're going to be in that top 0.14% of agents that are going to sell 40 homes next year. And it should not be very hard for people to do, as long as they just put forth the effort and go after it.
100%. And if you know it's coming, then prepare for it, right? It's just like athletes. If you know a game's coming, you're going to prepare for it. So every year now, and plus you have Trump on top of that, the economy booming, everything's changing. You know it's coming. Everybody's going to tell you it's coming. So the number one piece of advice is to just prepare. And you do that by joining the role play groups, whether it's with us or somebody else. You get a coach, you structure your day, you start practicing your scripts, and you improve your skill set. You go read the books, sharpen your communication skills, because it's coming. You just got to be ready.
Jeremy, show them the stack of books you've got for this month. I mean, it's right there by you. Just lift up that pile if you can hold that many. That's what he works out, guys.
So this is
all about the study. It's incredible.
Yeah, usually what I've been doing the past couple of months is I'll put all the books right here that I want to read, and as I read it, I put it back on the shelf and put it back on the shelf. But that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of real estate agents underestimate the power of knowledge. If this one book could help me go snag 2 listings and get them sold, and it's that small, then why would I not do that? $20, and I can go make, tens of thousands, if not $100,000 off of one thing that I learned in that book.
I think that's a good thing to comment, Jeremy. Just most people are consistently doing the same thing over and over, and a lot of them are not seeing the success they need to with it, but they're not making the change to be able to do it. And it's awesome to see that you're finding crazy success. You're teaching people to be crazy successful, but at the same time, we're still studying like crazy on how to be more inventive, how to be further ahead of the market, how to prepare to teach people where they need to go in order to be crazy successful. So guys, got to get around people that are pushing those kind of agendas. Let's dive in. I want to see you guys show you some of the stuff that we add. And this is a listing packet that Jeremy put together. So as we're talking about listings, this is a free presentation that you can edit, that you can make yours, and see that reel right there in the middle. Obviously, we would love you to join Reel with us. It's been a crazy, huge journey for us, and it's probably been the best brokerage I've ever worked with. And the ability to scale is massive with them. So if you're ready to join with us at Reel, please reach out, because then you wouldn't have to change this logo. And it's going to take a lot of work to, take that out and put it back in.
That's
so
true.
leave that there. Join us, be part of Reel with us, come grow with us. And then you don't have to edit that part. But Jeremy, take this away, show them how they can walk through for the next 20 minutes or so. And then we'll take some questions and walk through what it looks like when you're sitting the listing appointment. But walk through this with us.
Cool. Yeah. So the reason I built this, when I came from the alarm days, there was no packet. There was no presentation. You walk through a home, and in the back of your head, there was a flow to it. I'm going to walk here, do this, ask. Like, there was a process, but there was no, here's a packet about my alarm company. Let me go through 40 pages with you. When I got into real estate, that was completely different. And they're like, oh yeah, you got to have a pack. You got to have a presentation. And so I figured, okay, if that's how I need to do it, then I want to do it in a psychology-based manner that answers the 5 objections they have. And the packet only serves to answer those objections, so that when I show up to the appointment, I don't have to overcome any of the dumb objections. All I have to do is build rapport with the person that's in front of me. And so the packet is designed to do that. The whole order, if we scroll through it, is all about how to overcome the 5 most common objections. I need to think about it. What's your commission? How are you going to market my home? I want to interview other realtors. So ideally, I'm going to drop this off 24 hours before. They're going to walk through this. And I'm not going to the appointment unless they go through this, because I don't want to have to spend time at their house answering questions that they could have already answered themselves in the packet. And so the biggest thing this packet does is it prevents that I need to think about it. Once they go through this, they won't need to think about it.
Just
and
one
therefore,
second,
I've
Jared.
overcome one of the biggest objections.
I got to interrupt you. He's talking about how he's preventing objections, but from his first page right here that says welcome, he's showing people how successful he is. Look at that family, man. He's got a beautiful family, knocks it out of the park. That is success right there. Jeremy, to find a gorgeous woman to marry and those cute kids. I mean, that is the best thing in the world that he could show success. That takes sales, Jared. I mean, you're a good dude, but you're selling really hard to get that much success right out the gate.
And the dog also sells quite a bit. And look at that guy.
I love it. Okay, keep going. I had to interrupt.
But that's the thing, right? Like a lot of people, you're going to meet off of door knocking. You're going to call your database. Maybe it's a referral. However you got the appointment. A lot of them don't know who you are, what's important to you. So if I can drop this off the day before, let them get to know me, overcome any doubts, questions they have in my ability, what's important to me, then when I show up, literally the whole point of the listing presentation is to create an environment of trust, love, and safety so that there's a free flowing exchange of information that I can use through questions to help them close and list with me. But if I'm not preventing these objections and I'm having to use the whole presentation to overcome these objections, then I'm putting myself in a hole right out the gate. That's why we built this packet. That's why Dwayne and I have courses on this. We have trainings on this. We have YouTube videos, because the listing presentation is where you make money, period. And so you have to get really, really good at this. And so this part right here will tell them what to expect in the packet. I don't put any extra fluff in there. There are some real estate brokerages that, I mean, what's the biggest one you've seen, Dwayne? 50 pages?
Oh, man, they're huge.
They're massive. And the issue with that is they're teaching that you show up and give a presentation. That's not the case. This method is teaching you that you show up and you overcome objections so that you can close the deal. So if it's not overcoming an objection, it doesn't serve a purpose in this packet. And so those realtors that work with us on the coaching side, on the brokerage side, that's why I made this so they can upload this to Canva. They don't have to spend any money, any time. They can edit this entire thing so they can make sure that they're focusing on the right things.
Yeah, it's money. And look through some of the stuff he puts, like preparing for your appointment. He's giving them a step-by-step guide. Learn who Jeremy Davis is. That way, when you get there, you don't have to look up what he stands for, who he is. Then he's given value proposition right from the start. Why do you choose Jeremy Davis over anybody else? There's a million real estate agents out there. Why are you going to choose him? He goes through what he does to list the house. Here's the process. Here's the steps for closing. And now here's your next steps. People absolutely love this because there's no question. It's all spelled out ahead of time. And then when he shows up to the appointment, it gives a ton of value for them just to ask what's most important to them, what questions they had from his presentation, and he's ready to move forward with the next steps. And that's what he left with. I think that's incredible.
Well, and again, I think if you go to the next page, or it's, keep going. There's one with a bunch of circles. Keep going. Right there. And here's the thing. First of all, you have to have the paradigm that realtors are salespeople. If you don't, then this part won't make sense. The high level salespeople, like the goats of, like the best to ever do it, like Dwayne, for example. Dwayne, you probably don't ever get that many objections because in your presentation, you're overcoming them. You know that they're coming. And so you bring them up first and it's a very smooth process. And then you get to the end, they're giving you keys, you're kicking it to your TC and it's a very easy listing. So that's the same thing here. The whole presentation is over these main objections. I know that every seller has these objections. And if I can overcome them, solve their pain, then they'll list with me every time. And so the whole game of the listing presentation, the packet, is to overcome those so that I don't have to deal with them. And so usually those that focus so much on the scripts and objection handling and all that, that's great. You need to know how to overcome them. But the best of the best usually don't get a lot of them.
And I think too many people spend their time studying the objections to prevent them from losing the sale rather than studying the script to make it to where they don't get objections. I mean, it says right here in the center, common questions sellers have before listing their home. Guys, this is not rocket science. Everybody's going to have a lot of the exact same questions. So if you can learn what's common, answer those objections as you go through your process, answer those objections as you go through asking questions that helps them feel comfortable knowing that you're covering every thought they would have had before they had to ask it. Makes you look super, super sharp.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you do that, subconsciously, they're telling themselves, wow, this realtor is the one I should use because they're reading my thoughts. I didn't even have to tell them. And yeah, I had that concern. And so I hit them first, and now I'm playing offense versus them hitting me, and I'm having to react. And so it puts you in a good position to go and sign the deal.
And you should be able to do, if you get good at this, you guys, you should be able to close 95% plus of your listings at the appointment. It shouldn't be, hey, let me think about it. I got to call 4 of the real estate agents. When you go prepared and you've got this memorized and you know what direction you're going to take, when you're going to take it, and how you're going to take it, it is so fluid that people stand back and go, oh my gosh, right? I got this.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. And that's why the next part, if you go through the next couple of slides, you just kind of phase through them. That's why the next part, you have to have a little bit about you, right? You have to let them know that you're the right choice. And I've always told realtors, you can always take the smallest little advantage you have and make it seem like a big deal, because a lot of people don't even have that advantage. So you can skip this one. You can, if you guys have social media presence, flaunt it. If you have door knocking, flaunt it. If you're really good at grinding and prospecting, flaunt it. Like, you've got to have different things about you so that right out of the gate, they're like, ooh, I can trust this person. Because if you guys have read from Grant Cardone, he talks about how if someone says no to you, they're either saying no to you, your product, or the company. And a lot of times sellers don't care about your brokerage. They're already convinced on real estate. That's why they're having it at their house. So really, it really just comes down to you. And can you sell them on you? And so that's why the first part of the packet is to help them understand who you are so that they understand, okay, cool, I'm making a good judgment here by hiring this realtor in front of me.
Well, and I think it's important to note here that Jeremy has a lot of analytics about his social media presence. So often we have people on all of our social media platforms that think we're a one-trick pony, where we only door knock, and that is the only thing that matters to us. Guys, there is so much more that makes a real estate agent. You've got to use social media. You've got to be good at question-based selling. You've got to be good at getting in front of people, which honestly, door knocking is the very best way to get face-to-face quickly. But there's lots of different facets to being an incredible real estate agent other than just saying, I knock doors. So I love this analytic. And quite honestly, I think social media is one of the best ways to build a repeat and referral-based business as you show your successes. So if you're not good at social media, you need to check out our social media page on our website. It's incredible. We have spent tens of thousands of dollars learning social media because, quite honestly, Jeremy and I were dumb as a post when we first got into this stuff. Jeremy way better than I, so I don't know how you get dumber than a post, but I was there. And in reality, it doesn't matter. As long as you can really dial in and get good at this, you can make a lot of business. And all I was doing was posting on Facebook because Instagram was too smart for me. But I was posting continuously and posting successes, posting real estate related content. And that will drive a huge amount of business for you when you can't go out at 9 a.m. and knock doors. So if you want to get into the social media side, you don't necessarily want to door knock. We're still your people. We can help you find crazy success doing so. I'll jump to the next page.
Yeah. Well, and what's cool is, I mean, again, the whole point of this packet is 99% of the listing presentations I go on, Dwayne goes on, other of our top realtors go on, they're not going to mention any of this. All this packet does is it helps them answer any questions they have about you and your ability to sell their home, so that when you're at their house, you can figure out their pain points. And then maybe I have 10 value props in this packet, but I figure out that they only need one, and it's number 4. So I don't have to go through all these different points because they already read it. They already got the answers, but they have a question on number 4. So now I'm going to turn my attention and use the whole time to answer number 4. And so that's the beauty of doing this packet. That's the beauty of dropping it off, is it allows you to be flexible when you're at their house. You don't have to answer any of this. I mean, this page, the last page, most of the time, I don't even refer to these. I don't even read them, but I make sure that they do before I show up at their house.
Well, it's impactful because they've already seen it too. They're like, Jeremy sold 75 homes his first year. The average realtor sells 3 to 4. 85% of realtors didn't make a sell in 2023. Holy cow, people. This is huge for making him stand out, whether he reads it and goes over with it or not with the client.
Well, even if you sold 12 houses, right? That's better than 3. So again, find your advantage and find a way to make it seem like a really big deal. Then I've got 2 pictures, 2 like really good reviews from past clients. Because again, like they want to know that you're the right choice, that you have the resume, and I did that. And now they want to know what others think. And so you put reviews in there, and that helps them. Okay, other people thought the same. So all you're doing is you're answering these questions that they already have before you even get to the appointment.
I love that you've got the guys signing at closing. That's money.
Yep.
That's money.
Yep. So yeah, so now that they have like who I am, what other people have said, my track record, now you have this section where it's why choose me. Because if they're like, yeah, Jeremy's the right choice, or we feel comfortable with them, people buy emotionally and they back it up with logic. So now the second part in the packet is going to be logic driven. It's okay, these are the 6 ways that I will put more money in your pocket than everybody else. And let's walk through them. And so again, like you're understanding their psychology perspective, and you're going through it with them as they go through this packet. So this part, I always go through the 6 different things that I do differently and how I do them, so that I don't have to spend the entire listing appointment going through these. And a lot of times when I get to the appointment, I'm going to have an intro section called the movie preview. And I'm going to ask, like, what are you looking for from me today in order for this to be a win-win? What do I need to answer? What questions do you have when you sell this house and you buy the next one and you're having a barbecue with your friends at the next house and they're like, wow, that went so smooth. What made it go so smooth? How would you answer that question? I'm going to pull out all the pain, and then from whatever they say, I'm going to know what section to now turn to. Let's say they hate open houses and they hate social media, but they are intrigued that I door knock. Well, then I'm going to spend the entire time on the door knocking part. So this section is really cool because it gives you a wide range of where to go. Too often realtors are overselling. You're going through all your value props and you don't need to. You just didn't discover their pain enough.
Jared, so let's answer this question. It says, hey, can I just get to know about the agenda of this meeting? I'm going to answer that. I'm going to let Jeremy answer his way as well, because we do things a little bit different. You should go in knowing what your agenda is, how you want to take them through that, but you shouldn't go in and just ramrod your agenda down someone's throat. They should direct your agenda. So that's going to come through the questions you ask. And I usually start as soon as I sit down with this question. Tell me, if you've read through the packet, number 1, what questions should you have? And what's the most important thing to you in the sale of your house? That is where I'm going to start. And then I'm going to let them kind of guide the conversation at first. And I'm going to hit my pain points from the presentation all the way through as I normally would, but I'm going to let them feel like they have control. And then I'm just answering their questions. But guys, it's so easy when you do it the right way, because they respect your answers. And one of the things that I love is you look at Jeremy's pictures here, why to hire him. All of those pictures have an emotional connection. All of them. Notice how he uses the family. Notice how he's using the door-to-door person. You want to connect with them emotionally, and I think those pictures do that. Too often in a listing presentation, we just put the title heading. We just put Thursday call, open house frequently, door knocking, and that's just a bullet point item. Look how much difference this makes as you emotionally connect to the client. So to answer that question is, I'm not going to go in with a certain agenda. I'm going to let them guide and direct. And if they don't have anything, then I've already got a process that I normally follow through, and you're going to know what works best for you. Jeremy, take that question.
Yeah, 100%. Also, are you asking, if you're still on here, are you asking about what we're doing right now? You talk about the listing presentation. You talk like what specific agenda are you talking about? Because I'm not sure if he's asking about this. Maybe his, maybe he's not. But on the listing presentation, yeah, the whole agenda, the whole goal is to help that family. And I don't want to go if they're not ready to list because I can't help them. So first of all, I'm not going to even go on the appointment. But also I want to figure out what their pain is and then what they need from me. And then can I solve it? And that's really it. That's the whole purpose. Now, if you don't have a packet like this, if you don't have a process of when you get a listing of what you do, the next 5 steps, then you're going to go and you're going to vomit on them. You're going to just spit everything on them. And it'll just be this massive, long 2-hour dialogue. And you don't do anything of what Dwayne is talking about. And so this allows you to really just go all in, question-based sell them, and then also value prop.
So Jeremy, he responded back and he said, yeah, just about asking the overall topics discussed right now. So I think that's kind of spelled out in his presentation. He's got it, number 1 through 6 of the best ways to close them. But yet it's not going to be, he may jump, just like he said, number 4 is not a pain point. Number 6 was. So he's not going to go through 1 through 4 and bore them to death. He's going to jump from 1 to 6, hit their pain points, and then refresh on any other topics he needs to if they're not ready to close. And I think that's the biggest thing we miss in sales, you guys. Too often you go in and you're going to cover 1 through 6 regardless, and you're going to bore them to death. You're going to lose the sell because you're spending time on things that aren't important. This isn't a one-size-fits-all program where you're going to ramrod everything down someone's throat. Go in, read your clients, read the situation. That's where Jeremy and I feel like are the most successful in our coaching program, is we're not just going to hand you a dialogue and say, hey, go do this to everybody and you're going to be successful. We role play every afternoon about listings and we change up the customer. That way you get good at handling whatever customer you're in front of. And that's why it's so important to be with a group that's going to teach you how to be fluid in every situation, rather than a Mike Ferry script where we hand it to you and say, hey, go use this and you're going to win, right? Yeah, you'll win 1 out of 10. I want you winning 9.8 out of 10. So learn the right process. Great question, guys. We love that.
Yeah, great question. And that's the thing too, right? Like let's say number 6, the social media, let's say that's their pain point. But let's say I start with number 1 and then 2, then 3, then 4 to 5, because I didn't listen. They're going to be so bored out of their minds. They're going to go, oh, this guy doesn't even listen. Or this girl doesn't even listen. So by the time I get to their actual pain point, which is the last one, they've already checked out. So I'm going to start with number 6. I'm going to start explaining that. And then maybe that's all I need, right? So again, this next page right here, and then the one after, it'll go into short detail of how I am better than everybody else at those specific ways to market their home. So again, let's say I only talk about number 6, the social media. I don't need to talk about everything else because they've already read it. They already understand. And at the beginning of my listing, I'm going to ask, do you have any questions from the packet that you saw about me, the marketing process, or what your home is valued for? And let's say they say, yeah, well, talk to me about your weekly calls. I've never heard of that. Great. Now I know that that's a value prop I need to highlight. But again, I shouldn't have to go over all these because they already read it. That's why it's in the packet. So have them read it. If they don't read it, push back the appointment. Explain the importance that they go through this, so you can prevent these objections from coming up. And you don't have to show up and go through a 2-hour presentation that could have taken you 20 minutes.
My people, is this not common sense? Put yourself as the seller. Would you not want to know what you are asking questions about? Would you not want to just dive in and make it all about you? Put yourself in that situation. I don't care whether it's at the doctor's office. I don't care whether it's buying a car, buying a house, talking to your spouse even. It needs to be all about what you are wanting to focus on. You're not going to get to the doctor's office and start talking about your knee and he goes, oh yeah, let's talk about your foot, right? It's about your knee. You have issues that you want to figure out and track down. Quit going all over the place. And us guys, we're stupid this way. When we start talking to our wives and she says stuff and we start bringing up something else, it does not go well, people. So if you got a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, make sure you engage in the conversation and make everything you're doing relative to the conversation. Be present. And that's ever so more important when you're helping them sell the most important thing of their life, which is a house.
100%. Yep. And that's what's cool again about these next couple pages is sometimes I don't go through 90% of this, right? But again, if it's important to them, then we're going to talk about it because it's important to them. And then I've got a section on the bottom for notes. So while I'm there, they can take notes or I can take notes. So it gives them an opportunity to be engaged with the conversation. If you go to the next part, for those that are on social media, I think one more. Yep. So for those that are on social media, if you know a lot about sales, sales is not telling. Showing is more important than telling. And so for here, I'll have my videos pulled up on my phone of different listing videos I've done. And I'll just let them watch it. And I'll say, now imagine if this was your home and we did this type of video and we had this type of exposure. What would that do to the amount of money we can put in your pocket? What would your friends think? What would your neighbors think? Would you want to share this? Would that get you more exposure? And so I show them right here. I don't tell them. I want to show them. And because it invokes an emotion and they get excited and they're like, wow, like this is the realtor that I want to choose. And so have something in your presentation that's engaging. If you're just reading, going through everything, then you're going to lose them. They're going to check out. So you have to have different things in your presentation that engage them from a different presentation standpoint so that they can hang around long enough to get through and then choose you as their realtor.
Jeremy did a video on a Airbnb property and it was incredible. I mean, if you're not following Jeremy on Instagram, make sure you get there and watch some of his videos. They are fire. I mean, he engages the client so well with how he presents the home. Guys, it's incredible. So if you're not following him, make sure you go find Jeremy Davis on social media right now and subscribe to his channel so you can watch what he's doing. And better yet, learn from him. Go buy the social media course and watch some of the stuff he teaches on how to get hyper local with the video. He had a cabin, and maybe I'll have you tell this story, that he had a cabin that he knew people were moving from a different state in. So he started target marketing this area and then double-sided it. So pretty incredible. Jeremy, got a question here. What's your account? And he's wanting to go follow you right now.
Yeah. So Dwayne, you can put it in there. I can't put it on the YouTube stuff, but it's St. George Realtor.Jeremy. St. George Realtor.Jeremy.
All one word?
St. George St. George Realtor.Jeremy. Yep. All one word. I'll pull it up right now. Yeah. So I run two opposite accounts and I get asked this all the time. Like, should I run one account? Should I run two accounts? It totally depends. There's not really a right answer to that. But that local page is me implementing everything Dwayne and I have learned the last year. So it's really cool to have like an experimental page where I can go practice what we preach and I can learn and implement what we're learning from those that we've partnered with. Like, one of the cool things is all these videos, these ideas came from being partnered with Paige Steckling. If you guys aren't following her, go look her up. She's like the goat of the goats on listing marketing videos. I learned all this from her. And so again, like if you're in a brokerage or in a spot where you're not learning all this stuff and you can't have someone mentor you and help you, then you got to get out, because there are so many top dogs that are crushing it in all the different prospecting methods. And if you could just simply move brokerages or move teams, move coaching programs and get this type of training, then your business will blow up. And so it's been really fun to use that local page to implement everything we're learning. And then when it goes well, Dwayne and I pull it onto our Instagram pages, our YouTube channels, etc.
Cool. I've got people commenting on Instagram right now that just followed you. So your users are going up, Jeremy. Hey, one thing cool. I teased about the reel. I wasn't really teasing. You guys should really come join us. But one of the reasons why that you should is not only because we're going to be the best trainers for you in the world, but Jeremy just said it. Paige Steckling, you're able to go to her meetings as well. She's in our upline. She's invested in helping you grow and be successful. Red Suit Realtor. If you want to learn about fix and flips, he's the GOAT of fix and flips, and he can help you. He's also part of our program. So you have so much that you can learn from amazing people and organizations around us that are invested in you being successful. And so if you're not getting that training, guys, you're losing a lot of opportunity and money. And not only that, the cost to be on our team is $18,000. That's with the real split and our team split. Most of you guys are paying that right now at your brokerage or more and not getting even a quarter of the value. So think about that. And if you're interested in more details about our team, just shoot me a text, 801-243-4544, and just say team on it. And I will call you and walk through some of the details on that. But yeah, these video examples are out of this world, and you guys will find a lot of value as you follow what Jeremy does on those.
Yep. And then the next couple pages, it's really similar, right? Like if they care about photos, I got a section for that. If they care about like listing videos, I got a section for that. And so you just have to get really good at learning how to value prop. And then at the end, one of the objections you're going to get is, okay, now what? Let me think about it because I don't know the next steps. A lot of times objections just come from confusion. And so you have to answer that. And so at the end, I have the entire process laid out so that they can understand that it's a very simple process. The hardest part is behind us. Now we just need to do X, Y, Z to list your home. So if your packet, you don't have that in there, then they're going to be thinking, oh, it just seems too complicated. I don't want to go through the next steps. And so they give you some BS objection of, yeah, I'll just give me a couple days. And so for me, I've got it at the end of, cool. Now the next steps are super simple. The hardest part is actually behind us. So high five, I high five them right there. And then I just show these are the next steps. They're really, really easy. And then I just walk them through it. That way I overcome the objection. I hit them before they hit me. And now we can smoothly go to the end and close it out.
Jeremy says high five, but I'm going to tell you right now, people, by this point, they love him enough. He's usually giving them a hug.
That's probably
but
true.
yeah, so it's cool that he's created that emotional connection, whether it's a high five, hug, whatever. They are already bought in on the Jeremy Davis train and moving forward. But isn't this cool having the prepping pack for them so they know exactly what to do rather than feeling like, Jeremy, what do we do next? What's our next step? Do we hire somebody? Do we get a stager to come in? I've had lots of people ask me that. Do you know somebody we could hire to have them come in and look at our house and tell us what we need to change? And it's like, nope, I've got you. I'll tell you what you need to do. And the truth of the matter is, most people feel like they need to do way more than what they actually need to do. And that slows down their process.
Yep.
So help them understand what the minimum they need to do to make it sell well. And you're the expert. And they will move a lot faster. They'll be more encouraged to do it sooner because they don't have as much work to do. And they'll be ready to crank forward. So guys, there's systems behind the madness. And when you get these down, it is literally game over. What's the last things on this, Jeremy, before we wrap up here?
That's it. I've got a couple questions on Instagram of people that are in California asking, what are we going to cover this week? So maybe we spend about 10 minutes on that if you want to switch over to the other packet. So this Thursday and Friday, we're coming back to LA for those that are just hopping on now. We're coming to San Jose on Thursday, and then we're going to be in Rancho Cucamonga on Friday. And it's a 4-hour training on how to put more money in your pocket, how to go make 100K in 90 days. And the biggest piece of feedback we got last time, because we were there a month ago, and everybody said, hey, no one ever comes here. We never get this type of training. Can you come back? We said, sure, we'll come right back. And so here we are coming back, but there's 5 principles that we teach on that will help you go put more money in your pocket. So we're not training on paperwork. We're not training on fluff, nothing. We're not trying to sell anything. These are 5 things that will go put more money in your pocket if you can get really, really good at them. And we're going to go into detail on each and every one of them.
So check those out. We're going to talk about transfer of energy, and that's huge. That is a full-on sales tactic that's going to help you take the energy from you, transfer it over, pull energy from them, give it back. And there's a lot of method behind the madness there. It does not come from you just telling them what they need to do. You've got to be able to use that energy back and forth through questions and literally create a path for them to feel like they can do this today, and it is the best decision for them to do it today. They're going to teach you how to operate your business like a CEO. There are so many of you out there right now that are struggling because we are CEOs of our own business and we're not doing what we need to with our money. We're not investing in the right spots. We're going to teach you how to invest your time because that is your money maker. So we're going to teach you all about that, what time means for you and how to manage your time so you can make more money. We're going to dive into door to door. I'm going to spend a huge chunk on talking about question-based selling, role playing, walking you through the door-to-door systems and scripts and what to say and when to say it, and how to say it, where to knock, when to knock, and a lot on the door-to-door side. Then we're going to teach you how to just pave a path. Your bread and butter of repeat and referral is investors. We'll walk you through that process, and I will teach you a proven system. In fact, when we did it in LA this last time, I taught my system. It was hilarious. I finished that section on investors and walked to the back of the room. Jeremy starts taking off on social media. I had 3 real estate agents walk up to me and want to buy the properties that I was talking about in my investor presentation. They're like, "Are those real?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Awesome.
Like, how could I put in an offer on one of those? I was like, guys, this is what I'm talking about. If you as real estate agents took the bait that easy, yeah, absolutely, I'll sell them to you. But look how easy this is for you to do to other people and how to build a massive business from it. And they were blown away because they totally ate the bait that I was putting out there just to teach them what to do. They were the fish, man. They bit and it was awesome. So last thing is social media. We're going to talk about social media, how that has changed the business of real estate completely and how to capitalize on that. So even if you're not a door knocker, get to San Jose, get to LA area, Rancho Cucamonga, and come see these presentations. They're free, for Pete's sakes. They're free. And so you need to get there. You need to capitalize on all of these. And once again, if you want that listing packet that we just went through, text me or text Jeremy. Our numbers are all over social media. And let us know. We'll send it to you for free. We're here to add value back to you guys and to help you grow your business.
Yeah. So Jason on Instagram, he's in our role play group. So give him a quick shout out. He's coming to our Rancho event on Friday. And he's like, dude, I love your guys' role play group. I remember texting him. I just pulled up our text thread. And so now he gets to come and get this full 4-hour intense training. So a lot of you that are watching this or will watch this, you'll watch our free stuff like this. You'll join our role play group. You'll get all of our freemiums. You'll come to our event. And the whole idea is to give you so much value at a progression that you want to go. And we've got everything ready for you. Matt just commented, he's out in Las Cruces. He's going to join us here in 2 weeks on the Real Team. He came out to our last event. And he's like, holy crap, that was an incredible event. Was it a train or did he fly?
He took a train. No, he took a train from New Mexico, guys, to LA.
Oh, yep. To come and see the event. So a lot of people have traveled from all over. So if you're anywhere in Los Angeles, if you're anywhere near the Bay, the San Jose area, shoot either of us a text or DM or comment on here. We'll get you the link. It's a free event, 4 hours. And these are the 4 or 5 things that we're going to go through to help you go put more money in your bank account.
And here, honestly, I don't care if you live in Vegas. I don't care if you live in Utah, Arizona, anywhere. It's a cheap flight to LA and invest in yourself. It's a tax write-off. And who doesn't want to go to the sunny California weather, eat some good food, and get some great training? So make the excuse. Bring your spouse, your whoever, significant other, get out there and come get some massive training. And then what we want more so than anything is to hear that you've applied it and that you found the success from it. That's literally what we're looking for. So if you can do that, it's a win in our book.
A lot of people from the last couple events we've done, they've said, like, usually I go to an event like this and I want to bounce in like 30 minutes. And they talk about like real estate updates and fluff and paperwork and all this stuff. And it's like, wow, you guys actually trained us on skills and things that I can go apply. And so the event, if you've been to a lot of real estate events, this will be way different than anything you've been to. This will be a very high level sales training class so you can go put more money in your pockets.
Guys, I'm going to give you one sneak peek. You may even get Jeremy's voice to crack because he gets so excited at one part of this presentation. He gets a little bit squeaky and it's awesome. So make sure you got to come at least just watch for that. It's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. Well, guys, we appreciate you being on today. Any questions you have, as always, reach out to Jeremy and I. We want to help you. Is there any last minute questions you guys want to shout out that we can answer over the group or bring you on live and help you understand and achieve a better knowledge of what you're seeking? Hit us in those comments in the next 30 seconds. If not, we'll go ahead and wrap up. And remember, these are every Monday, 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We're coming on live. We're here to add value back to you. So if you can bring questions, we only got a couple questions today, and appreciate those that came in. But bring your questions. That's what this is for. It's a Q&A session period where we can help you. We just got one question to pop in there. Can I get your top 5 best sales books? Kaylee, reach out to us, and we will
packet on this.
We'll send you a whole packet on these. We've got not just 5. We'll send you like 50.
We also have a book club.
Years.
Yeah, we also have a book club. So we'll send you both. Top sales book we recommend. We got a packet on that. And the second one is our book club for the year. All the books we're reading.
So shoot me a text, just saying book group, and I'll send you that right now. We're deep in the middle of this book, and it's awesome. It's called Burn the Boats. That's what we're reading for February. So if you want to catch up with us on that, get in that book. And then every month, we're going to have another book that we're going to talk to you guys about. So if you want to join us, whether you're in our program or not, you're in our social media group. And that's just awesome. We want to train you with what we're learning and teaching everybody else. So make sure you text me, and we'll get you that book group and get you guys involved. All right. Any other questions, guys? Jeremy, any last comments?
I think that's it. We're excited to see everybody. We'll be there Thursday, Friday. So if you guys have any other questions, reach out. If not, sign up for the link. Bring as many realtors as you want. It's a free event. There's a lot of times where people don't do free events. So we're doing this to give back to your community, since we heard that no one ever comes out there. And so bring as many people as you want.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch up soon.